Yes, pilgrims, very good Tuesday morning to you. If you found that I was hesitating, I wasn't sure whether I should say it's largely cloudy or partly cloudy, because there is some sunshine coming through out there, but it's iffy kind of day. Um, Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't seen the forecast, but maybe no rain. But nevertheless, it's kind of cloudy out there this morning. Good morning, folks, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Good Day Grenada. We're going to have some fun this morning, and let me tell you why. I've got a couple of guests coming in here this morning who are, you can affectionately refer to them as riots. Yeah, find out in just a wee bit who they are. But let's go right to the rundown first of all. Okay. First thing up this morning, you may have heard sometime last week, I think it was on Thursday, that 3 Grenadians were rescued off the southwest coast of the island. 3 fishermen from St. Patrick. Well, yesterday somebody sent me some footage of that rescue, at least a part of it. So I'm going to share that with you this morning, okay? The next thing up on the menu this morning is a very interesting reaction to the victory by Mr. Killa at the International Soca Monarch competition in TNT this past weekend. Again, this is something that somebody has sent to me, and I thought, hey, the class on Good Day Grenada would probably really enjoy looking at this and probably have a chuckle. Actually, there are 2 pieces about Mr. Killa this morning. That first part, a lady in the United States who was responding to the lyrics of Mr. Killa's presentation, Run With It. Boy, that's all over the airwaves right now. Big, 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 big time. But the other piece also deals with the lyrics, but this one is done in a cartoon form. It's only about a minute long, but when you stop and think about it, it is actually hilarious. So we're going to share that with you as well. In addition to that, we have got the National Report. I don't know if I'm going to give you guys anything to laugh at this morning. I have to confess to you, I have not watched this edition of the National Report. But with you and your big eyes, I'm sure you're going to find something to talk about. And finally, yes, the reason why I'm pumped up this morning, every Tuesday morning we have Ray Robertson here, right? Look forward to that every Wednesday morning. Well, gentleman who visits with us from time to time, not in person, but, by the little pieces that he prepares for Facebook, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Wendel DeRiggs. Yeah, Wendel's in Grenada, running around as always with his smartphone, click, 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 click. And he is actually going to join Ray this morning. We mentioned last week, I think it was, that we were going to try and get them together. And this morning, they're going to share the airspace here this morning, okay? All right. Now, on Thursday afternoon, oh, by the way, let me say good morning, first of all, to the folks on the shout books there. The shout box is over there. Facebook's over here. Peter Bishop is back in Brooklyn. Yeah, the Nomad, he's back in Brooklyn, and he's with us this morning, saying good morning. John Kennison saying, good Shrove Tuesday to all listeners and viewers. Pancakes are on the menu for today. Don't tell Margaret. I didn't say that. He said it. John. Margaret, You know, I don't know if you'll ever live down this obsession you have with food. The whole world knows. Margaret. Veronica Sandy is sending blessings to everybody as well. Just hang on a sec here. Yeah. Now, on Tuesday afternoon, 3 fishermen from St. Patrick were rescued about 40 miles off the southwest coast of Grenada. A distress call was heard by Clinton Bailey. He's a local businessman. And he responded to these fishermen. He was out there fishing, obviously, and he responded. He shot some footage during the rescue, and let me share that with you right now. Take a look at this. Here we go.
All right, guys, happy to see you all. All you saw the boat before? Yeah. All you wasn't hearing the horn.
No, I didn't hear the horn.
I'm blowing the horn. Well, watch. I had a videotape that as evidence, eh? No. The boat, that too heavy to come up. That too heavy to come up. All right, so y'all good? Well, that's all right. You good? Nice. All right. Guys, look all your boxes in it. Sam, your phone for? Stand by, 1 second. Let me just pick up the next one quick. Hold on. Sam, you pick up your phone? Yeah, put this ready. Let's let it go.
So there you have it. That's the rescue that was performed, I think it was on Thursday of last week, okay? Boy, these guys are lucky. Apparently, Clinton was out there fishing as well. He heard a call and went to their rescue. Thanks a lot, Clinton. Congratulations. Now, back to Facebook here for just a minute. Margaret is I knew it. Margaret is responding to John by saying, John, a raid is on the way. Watch out, John. She ain't kidding. T.F. Richards is saying good morning to his family, and Murray Jules. Have I seen Murray before? I don't remember, actually. Murray Jules says, blessings, blessings, sir, this morning. Hey, Murray, Georgie Porgy. Hey, forget about this sir and this mister and all this kind of stuff. Sharon Roberts is also saying good morning to the family. What would we do without you sneaking in here? We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Sharon. Don't know if you're going to be in here in person or whether you're going to do it remotely. One way or the other, we're looking forward to Wednesday with Sharon. And she says it's rough and windy out in the ocean. Yeah, she was looking at that piece of the rescue a little while ago. Peter Bishop is saying best person to rescue them. And it took a little while for that one to register. Peter is saying the best person to rescue these fishermen was an undertaker. Yeah. Clinton. Clinton is an undertaker. Yeah. Once I get off the air this morning, I got to call Clinton and yeah, we'll let him know. Now, so says Peter. Murray Jules says, thanks, Ja, for the other fisherman. T.F. Richards says, and then people say there is no God. God bless you, Clinton. Yeah, ain't that the truth, T.F.? I just hope that as time goes by, more and more people come to realize that. Donna Joseph is saying good morning to everybody. And TF is saying to John here, John, is it pancakes and winked eye jacks? What's a winked eye jack? I don't know, but we're going to find out. Maybe Wendel, by the way, is already here. And we're going to find out from him because, you know, he knows all these names from the past and local parlance and all of that stuff. We'll find out. Let's see here. Cassie McIntosh is saying good morning to you, Cassie. Don't remember, I may be wrong, but I don't remember seeing you before. Thank you very much for joining us. Spread the word. Lydia James is saying good morning. And Cassie also comes back here and says, good thing Clinton was there. Boy, ain't that the truth. Now, folks, there's been a lot circulating on social media, and not just social media, even the regular media, you know, the normal broadcast media, the print media, about this victory by Grenada's Mr. Killa at the International Soca competition last week. Well, much has been said. You have seen on the GrenadaBroadcast.com website a lot of congratulations and all that stuff. Well, you know Georgie Porgy already. He likes to give both sides of the story, all right? Somebody sent me this video. It runs about 8 minutes. And I want you to look at this and enjoy it. It's about a lady in the United States who apparently has some doubts about what all of this fuss is about. Check this out.
Okay, wait. Trinidad, Grenada, matter of fact, all Caribbean people, why y'all is go on so? If Mr. Killa instruct all you to grab something, anything, pick up something, anything, and then run with it, make sure you bring it back. Because that could be considered grand larceny or kidnapping. And before I even start this video, let me give a quick warning to all of my Missouri church friends. There are gonna be booty cheeks in this video because culture. Brace yourself. One of the things I love about Caribbean people is our behavior is consistently on none, okay? 0. I'm in my timeline this week. I can't stand y'all. And my friend posts this video.
Anything, what you want to grab something, anything, from tell me to run with it, run with it.
So apparently now there is a very popular song called Run With It. And it's by a guy from Grenada whose name is Mr. Killa. And this song goes like this.
Run tell me to grab something, anything, I just want to pick up something, anything, run tell me to grab something, anything, run tell me to run with it, run with it, run with it, pick up something, start to run with it.
I've been seeing this song in my timeline all week long, and y'all, I've been laughing in tears. So these are the words for the song. When you have some stress, throw away your gun and drink some rum. Which is honestly very good advice. I mean, if you have to choose between having a drink and shooting at somebody, I would go with having a Bacardi. Y'all, then the man is like, hello, hi, me and my friend Mr. Rum is here to destroy your party. So I guess I shouldn't be shocked about this song because he warned us what his intentions were at the beginning. He goes on to say, I had some stress, so I took some shots. The amount I took really hit the spot. Then I heard a voice talking in my head. He said, go to the fete. You can't go to your bed. Listen, that's bad advice. Okay, Mr. Killa, I think you should have gone home. And he proceeds to have a whole entire conversation with the rum. that he has personified into Mr. Rum. The chorus of the song, which is the best part, you guys. This song is going to be problematic. It says, pick up something, anything, grab something, anything. He wants you to pick up something, anything. He wants you to grab something, anything. And then he got the nerve to say, run with it. Run with it. Run with it. Pick up something, start to run with it. Why? Why would it be acting on so crazy and so proud of it? Why would it be so happy about it? Why are we like this? So anyway, I am in my timeline last week when my friends shared this post. People out here snatching off people's wig, running off with it. People out here picking up whole human beings, big, small, it don't matter what size, woman gone. This clip here with Bert and Ernie almost took me out. I mean, I laughed straight for the whole day. Put Bert down. If that's not bad enough, you got the Trinidad police out here having to do official police business. Official police hours were spent telling people not to take other people's stuff.
There was a vendor, corn soup vendor, and they pick up his corn soup apparatus and they left with it. A group of persons came and pick up a female and carry her away. So that constitutes an assault. And if that person was not returned, then probably that could have been a kidnapping.
Y'all be careful out here. This entire video was just to tell you guys that y'all ain't got no sense. You know good and full well all kind of thing about to come up missing. Somebody gonna take somebody's car, run off with it. Somebody gonna take a food truck. Then gonna probably try to take a post office worker, run off while he just trying to deliver the mail. When they wake up tomorrow morning, somebody goat gonna be gone. The people them took the man corn soup apparatus and did not bring it back. So ladies and very small men, make sure that your clothes, your bag, your hair, yourself are firmly secured to something when you go out to fed. Please, I can't believe this video. You know you weigh 97 pounds. You know the song got instructions in it. The song say pick up something and then it say vacate the premises with it. You're gonna go fed and you're no good and full well somebody gonna run off with you. Tie yourself to a tree stump. Tie yourself to a truck bumper. Tie yourself to a large friend. Don't hold on to no table or nothing like that because they gone with the table them. I know if I was an island that had carnival after this, I would just be waiting to see what the property damage and the police reports look like coming out at TNT in February, okay? Because the song hot first of all, and we like a song with instructions. It probably makes sense to just put a budget item into the carnival planning and go on with your business. If I went home for carnival, I'd be a little concerned if this song was playing because I'm not a small girl. I'm 6'1", so I'd be thinking I'm fine. Ain't nobody gonna pick me up. But then look at this chick right here. That's a whole lot of woman. Where they going with she? These blasted Caribbean people are a determined and strong bunch. I don't even know how to end this video. What? You have fun, but make sure when you pick up something and you run with it, you bring it back, please. Y'all bring me so much joy. Listen, pick up something, anything.
Watch how I go grab something, anything. From tell me that run with it, run with it, run with it.
Oh yeah.
I told you would have a laugh at that. Isn't that funny? Absolutely hilarious. Now, you should see the comments on the Facebook. John says, no comment. You got to absorb it. John, did you understand anything she said? Lydia James says, oh, Lord God, a week. And she's killing herself laughing. I knew you guys would enjoy that. Sharon says, Killa Wendel, I love it. Run with it. The women who wearing wigs better look out. So says Sharon. Veronica Sandy said she saw this last night and it's hilarious. Now, just getting back to the rescue a little while ago, T.F. Richard says, George, it is said that if a foreign man went to Carriacou and was befriended by a kayak woman, it is said that he ate the Winkai Jacks. Yeah, man. The things you learn on this program, well, we're not going to need Anthony to clarify that for us. He may agree or disagree, but anyway. Lincoln Roberts is saying good day to everyone. And Cassie Joseph says, that's what they call being in the right place at the right time. Talking about that rescue. Absolutely, Cassie. Absolutely. Jennifer Myers says, hello, Jennifer. How are you? Good morning to you, George, and everyone listening. It sure feels like midwinter here in New York today. Grenada is calling my name. Have a blessed day to all. Grenada beckons. Even today, with the cloudy skies we're having out here this morning, Grenada beckons. And Cassie also says, good thing Clinton was there. Yeah. Folks, one more thing I want to show you. One more thing. And this, again, has to do with the Mr. Killa. But this one, it's a cartoon. And by the way, thank you very much, Mags, for sending that previous piece with a young lady. But there's another little piece that was sent to me by Cecil, also out there in New York. And this one, it's only about a minute long, but this, too, is hilarious. Check it out.
My landlord is too unreasonable. That's why I have to leave this apartment. Do you believe she's telling me I have to be out of here by 12 or I lose my deposit? It's 11:55 and the moving truck just arrived. Worry yourself. They clean here out in 5 minutes. You have some stress, but you in luck. All your belongings fitting in my truck. I bring the movers, so have no fear. Cause in 5 minutes this whole place will be clear. Pick up something. Watch how I go grab something, anything. I just want to become something, anything. Watch how I go grab something, anything. Run with it, run with it, run with it. Become something, start to run with it. Run with it, run with it, run with it. Become something, start to run with it.
Well, we began the day on a great note, full of laughter, full of laughter. I enjoy days like today when we're not just dealing with politics and all the nonsense that's going on in this place. You know, we can sit back and laugh. Now, a couple of notes on the box here. Sharon says, Winkai Jacks is when the woman do witchcraft to get a husband. Anthony, did you know that? Anthony says he knew that. We're going to talk about that a little later on. And Fitzroy Adams says, good morning all. George, TF don't know Carriacou people are very, very friendly. Well, and then Cassie says, you're telling me. And by the way, John has acknowledged my comment a little while ago. He's saying he loved it. Okay, John, he loved it. John, I can't wait to hear your first calypso. Pilgrims, let's take a little break here and then we'll come back with the National Report.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Co-op Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank, and there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
Hey, Lynn.
Hey, neighbor.
Here's the bill I asked you to pay for me.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need. And we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LEDs.
They burn less energy, right?
Much less. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
And Grenlec is always advising us not to open the fridge too often.
That's right. And my family washes and irons in bulk.
With fuel prices changing all the time, how do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
So while Grenada can't control fuel prices, I can conserve energy and save money.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
All right. Alana Morris Van Tassel is saying good morning to everyone. Kipling has also just joined us. T.F. Richard says, George, we laugh at that song, but it can be used for a positive effort. For example, that song can be used when there's a cleanup campaign, like to remove litter from the beaches, etc. Grenada Solid Waste should think about incorporating that song into their timeline. And Margaret says, yeah, we need to laugh. We need to laugh. Yeah, Mags. You know, that's one of the reasons why I enjoy sitting here in this chair every morning. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this, and where the heck would I get my laughter from? Huh? Anthiarello says, George, that was hilarious. Okay. Now, I don't know if there's anything to laugh at in yesterday's edition of the National Report, but I do think it's time that we found out.
Council for Development launched in St. Andrew to bring collective benefits to the parish. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Monday, March 4th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. What started with the formation of a Council of MPs in St. Andrew has resulted in the launch of the St. Andrew Council for Development to develop the parish on a collaborative basis rather than at the individual constituency level. The Council for Development, which was launched at Blueberry Hill over the weekend, has as some of its priority areas improvement of the Princess Royal Hospital, transforming community centres into resource centres, and developing tourism sites in the parish. Honourable Emmeline Pay, Parliamentary Representative for St. Andrew South East and Minister for Education, says they are not just about winning an election, but about making a difference in the parish. Late last year, they formed themselves into a council of MPs and started meeting on a monthly basis and presented the concept to the Cabinet, which gave its full support. The council also presented to Cabinet 2 proposals for funding, which were supported as models to be considered for island-wide implementation. Mrs. Spear says they have already identified a number of critical areas for development.
Some of the priority projects we have started working on or discussing includes as follows: upgrade of services at Princess Alice Hospital, reconstruction of the Seamoon Cultural Center, development of tourism sites in the parish, night activities in Grenville, addressing flooding and sidewalks in Grenville, development of culture in the parish, support for organizations, support for
development of the town of Grenville, engagement of more of our young people in agriculture, development of a knowledge center in Grenville, focus on skills training and agro-processing, lighting of Progress Park, creation of employment opportunities.
Working committees have been established as part of the council that will develop projects for local and external funding. Honorable Delma Thomas, parliamentary representative for St. Andrew Northwest and the Minister for Social Development and Housing, says it is about deepening democracy to develop benefits to the people.
This is about deepening democracy so that we can develop benefits to ordinary people. I think that's what all of us called to do, to serve humanity.
Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell complimented the leadership for the initiative and promised his government's full support to the council's development efforts.
I've told the parliamentarians the money for the cultural center is there, so we just have to get moving. I don't want it. It must not be 2 years from now for the cloud, the 3 years, it has to be done now. And I think the Ministry of Culture and Sports, they're working together. And we want the design ready, and the funding, as I said, is already laid, put aside. So we should have, because I know how important that cultural center is for St. Andrews.
An advisory committee to the St. Andrew Council for Development was appointed to serve from March 1st, 2019 to March 1st, 2021. And parish committees will also be appointed to focus on different priority areas. The advisory committee will be chaired by Mr. Claude Douglas and will convene monthly. It will also convene a parish meeting twice per year to get the views of the parishioners. 400 young persons will soon be engaged in life skills and CVQ and NVQ vocational skills training when the first phase of the Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program, SIAP, unfolds. SIAP is a 6-year program from 2018 to 2023, funded through loan financing by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the Government of Grenada. SIAP has been in dialogue with the T.A. Marisha Community College, the National Training Agency, and NULO to supervise the upcoming training sessions, tentatively scheduled for the end of March. The first group of 400 will be trained in areas like crop production, food preparation and cookery, and community cultural performance over a 2 to 3 year period. Executive Director of the New Life organization, Sister Margaret Yamoha, stressed the importance of young people taking advantage of the training and job opportunities.
We have these programs that are coming up. We have crop production and animal rearing, where the sponsors are also going to be providing support for microfinance. A lot of the time, some young people want to go into the business part of it. They finish the training, but they don't have the finances. But some of these sponsors are going to be providing that opportunity, and we would want them to take advantage of it. So come through the program. When you finish, you get the opportunity to work with GIDC, have access to the funding for setting up your own business.
The upcoming trainings will be certified by the National Training Agency. SIAP focuses on implementing climate-smart agriculture, providing funding and hand-holding support to new and existing entrepreneurs, skills training, rehabilitation of farm access roads and bridges. The program was officially launched on April 12, 2018. This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break. Welcome back. Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has extended hearty congratulations to Hollis Mr. Killa Map for running away with the International Soca Monarch crown in Trinidad and Tobago last Friday. Mr. Killa's massive hit, Run With It, stole the hearts of carnival lovers and earned the nod for the top spot from judges of the competition. Dr. Mitchell, who has already communicated personal congratulations to Mr. Map, said that he had done Grenada proud. The song was obviously a crowd favorite going into the competition, and the outstanding performance by Hollis on the night clearly sealed the deal. I am immensely proud of this talented young man who came from humble beginnings to achieve this notable feat. I hope this win is a fitting tribute to his work ethic and determination, and that it serves to encourage or inspire others who have a dream. We look forward to him continuing to represent Grenada on the world stage. He's a true Grenadian ambassador, he said. 4 other Grenadian artists participated in Friday's competition, which featured groovy and power categories. Hector Mr. Legs Thomas was third in the power competition, while Javon John, also known as Vaughn, was third in the groovy category. The Prime Minister commended all the artists for representing Grenada well. I think the 2019 Trinidad and Tobago Carnival season is one Grenadians will remember for a long time, with 5 of our artists performing in the International Soca Monarch competition, and 3 of them earning top spots. It illustrates the significant growth of the local art form, with our artists proving that they are among the best in the region. I am very proud of all of them and extremely grateful for what their excellent representation means for promoting Grenada and our culture. A welcome home celebratory event is being planned for the artists. Details of this will be forthcoming. Finally, with more carnival news, this time moving to the sister isle of Carriacou. 2019 is his year. Carriacou's Brendan McKee, known in the entertainment world as Killa, has retained the 2019 Calypso Monarch title, while Matthew Golden Thomas placed second. But the tables were flipped during the Groovy competition, separated by 1 point. Golden was crowned Groovy King and Killa placed second. 2 nights earlier, Killa defeated last year's Monarch DeRiggs to take the Ariza Power Soca Monarch title. He had no doubt his selection was a winning one.
I knew the song had the potential to win the crown, so you know, going out there, it's just me giving me 100%, you know, and I just thank the Lord for just blessing me yet another year.
Golden is hopeful he can make himself more marketable, not just locally but internationally.
Taking my music into a different level, you know, and going further with my career in music and not just staying in Carriacou. You know, putting more emphasis on getting out of here and getting my talent out there and marketing myself more and stop staying in the shell.
The artists were commended for excellent execution during the competitions.
It was very good. The people turned out, the artists, everyone who performed, they did a very good job tonight. I must say, I must commend that. It was very good. The timing, the production, the sponsors, everything came in very good. The artists, the music, the quality, the correspond, everything was epic. Everything was good. I must commend them on that.
It was very well. I enjoyed myself. Me and the guys, Zap Zone family, Zap Zap. I don't even go groovy in Grenada, and I was in it in Carriacou. The judge's decision was final, and it was the right decision.
The 2019 Carnival season will conclude with the parade of the Shakespeare and Fancy Mass on Tuesday. That story just ended the national report for today, Monday, March 4th, 2019. Recapping the top story. Council for Development launched in St. Andrew to bring collective benefits to the parish. On behalf of all those who made this newscast possible, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Together with you, our customers, we energize our community.
Together with you, we energize our economy.
We are working together to give our nation a better tomorrow.
With you, we energize our future. Together, we energize our nation.
Thank you for partnering with us as we energize our Spice Island.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
With free island-wide delivery, Hubbard's Building Supplies and Lumber Departments continue to provide the best quality lumber, steel, tiles, plumbing materials, electrical and general hardware supplies at competitive prices. We continually consult with builders, homeowners and contractors to improve product range and services. Enjoy discounts where applicable, including the use of credit and debit cards. At Hubbard's Building Supplies, Grandance and Lumber Department, Caranage, we offer quality service, affordable prices, giving you the convenient, reliable, free island-wide delivery. Call 440-2087 for all your home improvement and building solutions.
Grenadian General Insurance Company, strength and stability. Grenadian General Insurance Company, tell your friends, tell your family. We cover householders comprehensive, motor and even fire too. Contractors all risk burglary, public liability, professional indemnity, directors liability, and wait, we still have more. Come and find out more what you're waiting for.
We are located on Scott Street, St. George's. For more information, call 440-2434.
Tell everybody.
You know, folks, I was hoping that in the interest of time, you guys would be kind of quiet this morning on the National Report so that I could devote some more time to my colleagues here. While you were picking on the National Report, I was sitting here chatting with Anthony and Ray. I want to share some of the comments that you guys have posted. First of all, before we get to the National Report, there's a funny one that I just can't skip. It comes from Donna Joseph. And Donna says, George, they say don't go in a woman's house and sit down on the welcome chair. The man does turn tutube. You see, I said tutube, and DeRiggs goes, he obviously knows. That's his forte. Eh? So we could talk tutube in just a minute. Anyhow. Glenna Knights. I'm not sure what Glenna was referring to because I did not see the report, but she says, Princess Royal? Then Veronica Sandy says, high time for development and St. Andrews and other parishes. Grenada is not only St. George's. Where have I heard that before, Veronica? Huh? Right on, girl. T.F. Richards says, oh, you see the guy in the tight shirt? I mean, they're even looking at the clothes these people are wearing. Wow, what analysts you guys are. I mean, you guys should be working with the Wall Street Journal. Margaret Francis. Oh boy, they ticked off Margaret here. It doesn't take much to tick off Margaret, but they got her going here this morning. Margaret says, it is 400 young people, not persons. Sheesh. So says Margaret. Margaret, I understand your frustration. I understand your annoyance, you know. In recent times, I've been thinking about this. We hear so many of these things out there. Would have. Well, we discussed that one ad nauseum before. Now, persons instead of people. Margaret, this stuff is coming from people who are supposedly educated. Hey, Mags? And a lot of them, even in high places, which tells me, Margaret, there's something wrong with the education system in this country. Something absolutely wrong. Or you wouldn't have so many people who would have 400 You know, come on, Max. Come on. If you want to understand the state of the education system in this country, you come and sit down in this chair for one day. See the press releases that I deal with, especially from the government. You'll cry. You'll cry. And these are the people who are supposed to be telling me how to run my life. All right. Peter Bishop says, more committees and nothing changing in our country. Like our country have cuss. TF says, there we go again. We're only hearing about training for young people. Where are the opportunities for them after? You're going into agriculture? Where's the market? MNIB is almost defunct. The hotels are not necessarily taking items on a wide scale from local farmers, especially in the livestock arena. So what are they doing with the training? So says TF. Kipling Francis says, it is sad. It's so sad. We have more advisory committees than ministries, and advisors advising advisors. Margaret says there are short vowel sounds and long vowel sounds, and monarch is not a long O. Monarch. That's another one, Mags. Monarch. Soca monarch. Okay. Bernard saying good morning to everybody, and he says the forests keep changing, but the monkeys remain the same. Yeah. TF Richard says the welcome chair is widely used in St. Lucia. Margaret says, yeah, that's right, TF. St. Lucia is mostly associated with the welcome chair. And she says, I know, Gigi, but it just grates on the air. Yeah, she's talking about my comments a little while ago. Folks, okay. Let me set these guys up here now. There is Mr. Anthony DeRiggs. There is Mr. DeRiggs, huh? All decked up. How are you, sir? Good morning.
Very good.
Welcome back.
So glad to be in the spice, you know. Enjoying.
You can't do it. You really love this country, don't you?
Well, I have been here like 20 times in the last 15 years. This is where I come back to be baptized in the spirit, you know.
And a little while ago,
rekindle friendships. It's just a joy, you know.
A little while ago, I heard you talking about coming back again, maybe later on.
Yeah, because every time there's so much to get to see, so much to enjoy. It's like trying to empty the sea. Now, walking here this morning because I like to walk, because people stop all the time and offer me a drop, and I want to know always how or where I know these people, and then they would say, you are my Facebook friend. But I don't want to walk, because if I walk, I don't want to drive, because if I drive, how could I take a picture of a crab hole?
Exactly. Ray, good morning, buddy. How you doing?
I wouldn't complain.
So nice of you to share your time this morning with Anthony. I mean, when I mentioned to Anthony that you were around, first thing he said, man, we got to get together. So let's get together.
Great to be with Anthony. He has not turned up to the beach to pick any grapes yet, so that means we have more grapes to eat.
Yeah. I love those grapes. Yeah. He was complaining on Facebook yesterday that if he eats any more golden apples, he's going to turn into one.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, before I let you two guys bung away, by the way, Margaret says, you know, Wendell, them golden apple pics you've been posting just ain't right. Before we really get into things, I'm going to let you guys take off on your own in a minute. But I want to know something. This comment a woman made a little while ago. Too big. You know that one?
Of course, and if you read Alistair Hughes, you'll see a lot of those expressions. And I often make reference to Mr. Claude Francis. He wanted to create a dictionary of Grenadian dialect and so. And this is one of the words that you would find there. Tutube, stupidity, you know, that get your people to do things to get you real, as you say, dopey. And there are various ways that traditionally they would do it, you know. Whether you believe it or not, it's up to you. But to get tutube, you know, and there are words like that, with tutube, of course, meaning that you become sort of foolish. You don't know. You could be doting too on a woman. A woman wants to catch you, and she wants to make you fall in love with her. So she does something to actually catch you.
She do you?
Do you? And doing is one of the words that people actually believed years ago. They really believe that they do some people. And not only do, but they highlight.
I lucky, you know.
They do you yet, huh?
67 years and they do me
well,
yet.
It's still a time. You know, never know. You could. But anyway, the doing thing was big in Grenada at one time in terms of what people believe. They believe that somebody could actually turn you and make you get stupid. A woman could do something to you and make you like fawn over her, dote over her. You're in love. You get too big. You get, you know, you're just lost, and all of a sudden, you'll bring the flowers and you'll do anything that she wants it to do, right? So these are some of the things that actually I'm working on a book now. I should have published it already, but I had an unfortunate situation where I got sick a couple of years ago, so it kind of slowed me down. But I will actually highlight words like that and give little stories, you know. Now, it is said, for instance, in terms of the doing thing.
Ray,
now,
anybody ever do you?
Well, I don't believe in these things.
Yeah, right.
So it's no, well, I'm familiar with the territory, and I do hear people say it up to, well, up to today, people still say that people are affected by OBR, things like that Donna spoke about. And I believe, I know Zara Chase and her late husband did publish a book with much of the colloquial words that we use. It's not a book, a dictionary. Yeah, I'm sure about that. Maybe about 5, 10, maybe about 6, 7 years ago. So maybe something you can look forward to or try to get in touch with her, and I'm sure.
Okay, yes.
Your partner, Margaret in New York, she says, oh yeah, I remember Tutulbe. It's Tutulbe.
Tutulbe.
She's the person, it's spelled here on Facebook, TWLBAY.
But this is the thing about our dialect and the words that we use. Spelled in so many different ways, and that is there's no official book to show exactly how things are spelled. You read Claude Francis, you'll see the way he spells certain words. You read Alistair Hughes, you'll see the way he spells certain words. You see variations. This is because there is no actual official booklet or whatever to really show people exactly how the right spelling for many of the words. So you'll see variations, definitely. And that is why you could take the liberty in your writing to spell it how you want.
Okay. Ray, what if I said bung away with Wendel, what would you like to talk with him about this morning?
Well, let's give him the privilege. Well, because he is so much obsessed with what perhaps he left and came back and meet and finds joy in just about every corner, every street, every village. I'm sure that he has a lot that he would want to share with us.
You're putting your retirement to very good use. Are you helping to educate people about
well,
this country?
Of course, because there is so much about our life. Now, we often hear the saying, change is constant. And we must agree. There will always be changes. But there are certain things that should remain I often say as constant like a northern star. Because respect for elders. You don't want to change that.
But we have changed that.
You don't want to change that. You understand? Once you start changing that, you're in trouble.
Well, we're in trouble. That's why.
When I was a little boy growing up,
and as you mentioned that, you know, what comes to mind? Remember Miss Marshall?
Of course.
She's teaching Backstreet School, teaching Spring School. She died, I think, a couple of days ago at 99. You know, she was one of these people who would certainly do like you, point out as many errors and ensure that you know what is right or what is correct. So I would say, you know, we want to sympathize with her family and those who, like me and others who, at some point in time, she taught in Backstreet School. I was there at one point. Over the years benefited, but she was one of these teachers who really pinpointed whatever error you made and certainly tried to get it right. I'm not too sure the generation, much of the generation today, may be paying attention to some of the errors that you have pointed out. I think for many people now they say it's a new world, and you know, whether monarch, what was it? Monarch with a short vowel, which one?
Monarch.
Monarch, which one? Like a calypso you're talking about, or soca?
It's just that,
okay,
you know, in terms of things like the calypso monarch, some people say monarch.
Right. I think, just for example, in cricket, now they talk about the back end. I mean, that was not a part of the vocabulary
that we go
several years ago. What are you talking about? You start a bat from 1 and you end up with 11. They now call the 11th person the back end. So I don't know how to say.
But as you mentioned the word Marshall, it brings to mind a shopkeeper. And not only Mr. Marshall, but the Jones, the Sandyford, those were people. There were a lot of poor people. And I often wonder how these people were able to send their children to school, 5 children, send them to the shop to make a message. You remember the term? You're going to make a message.
Yeah, people still send people to make a message.
Look, I just want to bring out a quality, a Grenadian quality of people trusting. The word trust. I wrote about it in my book. They trust you until you have the money to pay. Because the shopkeeper too was a kind of macro, you know. You know who getting paid when you was sweet man and sweet woman and all this stuff like that. So you know where the money gonna come out at the end of the month. So it's safe to trust. But the word trust was a word that we grew up with. Trust me upon a flower. And we say pitch oil. Trust me upon a pint of pitch oil.
Yeah. And
you know,
lard oil.
A lard oil. Now we say lard oil. But trust. Good quality. Now, you can't go in America and ask anybody to trust you anything. A shopkeeper, first of all, they don't know you, so they wouldn't do it. So it was a good quality. And these are some of the things I would highlight in my work. I'm on a mission.
Okay, great.
And there are people, for instance, who lived among us. We never document anything about them. They live and they die and they did significant things. But we think of other people who are heroes. We read about heroes in far off lands. But right among us, there were people who did significant things in Grenada. And that's why I will talk about Mr. Derek Loudon.
Okay.
Because people like Mr.
Philip.
Yeah?
And Selma Philip.
Yeah, and I would like you to tell me of others, because it's a case of putting it out there, and I don't profess to know all. Now, during Hurricane Janet, for instance, you think there were no heroes? People pulling people down from breadfruit tree and all the stuff where the wind started to blow. Who knows about them?
Well, there were no. Well, I guess at that point in time, there were not many like you who. And we have to pay tribute to people like Mrs. Steele, who used to be in Marshall House, Gloria Payne. They are some of the few people, and your neighbor George, Mrs. Steele, Pamela, they are some of the people who recall, but again, not much is documented. So from one generation to another generation,
right,
it loses this thing.
So once we know who our heroes are, the people who did wonderful things while they lived among us, it's a very, very, very good thing to know. Because I'll tell you why it's important. For the young people especially to know of the people who did good among us. The young people must believe in themselves and believe in the neighbors, the people around them who did significant, great qualities that they portrayed over the years. They must. Now, you have a child, for instance. You see a young boy in America wearing his pants way down. And he started to follow that. He put the pants down there too. The boy in America is not following nothing you're doing here.
Well, you don't have any reach. First of all, you don't have any reach. I mean, nobody except the Caribbean people or the local Grenadians would tune into a local station. I mean, I hate to tell you that I spend more time looking at CNN and BBC than what we have here. So I think it's something in our culture. And I'll tell you one thing too, now that there's really no library, because the library on the Carnage, I remember you went to read the British newspapers and other Caribbean islands newspapers. Now I don't know of any central place except opposite Bristol's office where there's a library that attract people of all ages to spend time, you know. So I think that is a missing part of our current development. I don't know that we have a national archives that you can go back and, look, March 13th is coming up. There are historical features, but I mean, yes, there'll be a talk by someone who will come, but I'm not too sure even that person is that connected. In fact, last year they had Skerrett. I don't even think Skerrett would have been about 10 years when that occurred. He would have been very young, or even maybe still in Pampers. So really and truly, you're not getting I would say, a precise flavor. Now, if you were like maybe a first world country, you go back and you create whatever you perhaps want to create, the Civil War. You sit and sometime home and you look at PBS and you get a history of what Robert E. Lee and them were like. Now, we create nothing. So the arts here ought to be developed. I'm not too sure we are developing it in the right way. To me, it's all centered on soca.
Well, of course.
And not, things that, to me, can go beyond the end of the carnival. Because really and truly, if you ask me who win the last soca monarch, I will have to, maybe pick up the phone and call a younger one. So I'm saying that there are basic things the society needs to do to ensure what you are saying is passed on. Without that, I mean, my 22-year-old son, for him, the world now start. Unless I say to him, well, look, what you doing there, that was done 150 years from the carbon hour era.
Exactly.
So we have to find a way to challenge the young ones to go into the library, to know what Windward Island Broadcasting Services was like. I mean, 3 of us know about it because we're of age when it's, but I don't know that the 15-year-old and the 20-year-old and
ESPN.
ESPN. Yeah.
No,
sorry. You finally got going, Ray, but a little while ago. Yeah, I remember to turn your mic around, George. I say you finally got going, Ray, but a little while ago, T.F. Richards was saying here, Ray, don't try to be like a teacher or a politician who had nothing planned. So he glad to pass the mic to someone else. That's a little while ago when you were telling me to let Anthony take off. He also says here, George, kudos to Mr. DeRiggs. I love listening to him. As a matter of fact, I think I would love to meet Mr. DeRiggs when he returns to the U.S. Also, all of the other participants here from New York. And Veronica Sandy says, love listening to you, Anthony. You know Veronica?
Well, she's one of my friends on Facebook. She's one of my friends, and many of them know me. It's like I walk in St. George's and people calling me and hugging me and kissing me, and I don't know them. A young guy in Guav He said, he came and he hugged me. I said, I wondered where he knew me. This guy left Grenada such a long time. He said, you're my friend on Facebook.
You know what's so funny about that? The same thing happens to me. People, they see the face in the media, so they identify with it. But they don't realize you don't see them. And sometimes they're a little bit taken aback if they come up to you, hey, George, man, how
and you don't know them actually.
I'm fine. You know?
Yeah.
Now, listen. I like this one. This is from John in Carriacou, right? This is about, well, let me read it. He says, there was a shop here in Carriacou that had put debtors' names on a blackboard outside the shop. If you didn't want your name on it, you paid at the end of the month.
Well, the shopkeepers were...
Well, that's a modern day shop.
They were quite innovative.
Well, I imagine
yeah,
it's
that's a
modern
modern
day.
day.
Because, John, is that modern day? Hold on a second. Margaret says, I argue that the biggest loss during the invasion was the destruction of the old WIBS, Radio Grenada.
Well, undoubtedly, because they had an archive. I mean, the colonial people were the ones who set it up, and clearly they knew the value of keeping information, and that's one of the, I think, the greatest tragedy that we would have suffered in '83, because I mean there were calypsos. I remember you go back listening to Papi Tet and people who perhaps you only heard your parents talking about, and then you were able to listen to some of these calypsos that they sang then in the early '60s and late '50s. And there were recordings of Parliament, and you got to hear people who, like R.C. who people said was a Fisher Archibald, it was a speaker, something of the sort in the Parliament. So you certainly learn from the past. Again, I'm not too sure, George, with the greatest respect to all the media houses now, I'm not too sure if many of them keep anything. Yeah, I know we have the internet and we have storage in the sky and where have you, but there's
called iCloud.
iCloud, and there's no revisiting. So you really perhaps storing, but I mean, are you at some point in time going to relive these things? I don't know. We do much of that anymore. Yeah, it's well, as I say, it's modern, and maybe what was 40, 50 years ago, maybe not relevant anymore. But I quite agree with you. There are some things that the minute time we start to tingle with them, we begin to destroy the society itself. Because good morning had to be a word that you must utter when you meet a senior.
Well,
and if you didn't do it, and that person report you to your parents, you would certainly get, if not a spanking, a scolding.
You know what warmed my heart walking around Grenada? And say like the Lagoon Road or Grandance or near the bus terminus down there. Walking there, and young children in their uniform would come up to me and say, "Good morning, sir." It reminded me of a time past when I did the same thing. So all is not lost. They are children who will tell you good morning.
Yeah. Well, people like me certainly believe in that, because the young ones I am associated with, whether the person answer or not, I said to my son and others, just say hello, good morning. It doesn't matter if the person answer. Great. If you didn't answer, just continue whoever you meet. It doesn't take away anything.
It all deals with
something I've often talked about is the fact that as a child growing up, my father always taught me to have a very healthy respect for law enforcement. Every time you saw a police officer or somebody in uniform, you went, okay? You didn't have to say anything. You saluted.
And you remember Blackie?
Where did the salute go?
That's something that I still, I'm finding it hard to continue now because of the reaction that I get when I do that to a policeman.
Nobody understands that anymore.
No matter what.
But I tell you, that actually, I subject to correction. J.W. Fletcher, who had military, I think he served in the Second World War. The salute was mandatory during the when you attended the St. George's R.C. Boys School. You had to salute and say good morning. I went to St. John's Christian Secondary School and I watched the American Brother Sheep, and I went to, I said, good morning, I did that. And he was confused.
Yeah.
But it came from J.W. Fletcher with the salute. It's showing that type of respect, you know. But I'm not saying we have to go back to this old stuff and so on. We need a good morning, yes, I would agree that, you know, but the salute and so on.
A little decency.
Yeah. But there are a lot of things that were cultural norms in the past. I kind of pick up on something that you said, Ray. We have the theater in Grenada. I'm sorry for people like the Peters, my brother Chris DeRiggs, and Keynes Douglas. Theater is a high quality art form. Soca is going to fade. Calypso is going to fade. There is no country in the world that had a high level of art and literature that has ever been looked upon as inferior. That is a determining factor. We study Greek mythology, Hercules, Medusa the Gorgon. To many people, it's high literature. We study it in universities. Nobody laugh at that. But you go laugh at the Lugaru and the Sokonia and the Jombi. So when Peters or Keynes Douglas put a play about a Lugaru, and you have 2 or 3 people come and see it for 2 days, and then it fades, and everybody would jump on behind a band and wind up and think that is the state that we should be in. Drink rum. We better than that.
But you see, again, you have to look at what we feed to the younger generation. I could testify about Carnival with Patterson and Aoi and whoever the others are. Bands were what, 300, 400, 500, 600, 800. I mean, people portrayed whatever it was, whether it's goddess of the sun or Greek, whatever it is. But the point I'm making there that you got a historical perspective, and I could remember when you go back to school, you were challenged to write an essay or something on the experience of your Carnival Monday and Tuesday. Now, I don't think you want to challenge children to write an essay because it's pantia or nakedness, and
no.
I don't know that is what. So again, it goes back to, as you say, if we were promoting culture in a more, well, the theater or the arts, I prefer to say the arts, in a more aggressive manner. You know, let's go back to one. You remember the Botanical Gardens?
Of course, yeah.
During Uncle Gary days. Had steel band playing there.
Or the police band playing on a Sunday.
That's correct. Now, have you heard a steel band on the radio since you here? So, well, no, they don't play any. I mean, Lou Smith used to be the last of the vanguards. He used to be the last. And I don't think with him out now, I don't think steel band will be ever play again until...
As you mentioned, Lou Smith, I saw him on the carriage, and my brother was driving, and I had to stop. And I shook his hand and thanked him for his years of service.
Yeah.
And I told him, keep on, keep strong, respect.
Yeah, but you see, that's what it takes to get this thing where you want it to be. The Lugaru will only come into context. Oftentimes, I play tennis with a lot of kids under 14, mainly. They did not beat me yet, but I know in the next 2 years they all will. And you sometimes ask them questions, when particularly you pick on if one of these guys are from the Brizan area. You see, this area is have a lot of Lugaru, and they'll ask, what's that? You know, so again, if we were communicating these things, that they were great fun in the past, that's what your parents, that was the entertainment of the 60s or the 50s or whatever it is, then people will have a sense that those cultural things were great fun for my grandparents. But George, let's go back again, Margaret Nichols. I can't forget Margaret Nichols. Margaret used to be on whips doing a 5 to 6 story, whatever it was, a nursery rhyme, whatever. And you got a sense when you, in the evening, there was something local to listen to. I have not heard an essay, or a poem, or a nursery rhyme on 15 radio stations we have. I mean, pick up something and run. I mean, anybody can make that. But challenge a little child to write something. How do you feel about a para-athlete, a disabled person? And hear what that child perceives. Then the wider society will perhaps get a sense that we're really integrating.
Well, you know, Ray, perhaps that's what I'm trying to do, step in that direction. You know, doing what we're doing here right now. Look, there are people out there who really appreciate listening to you guys. There's somebody here named QC Perez. He says, yes, despite what most say of the youths, most are still respectful, always courteous to me. I live on the western side and experience it daily. T.F. Richards says, Mr. DeRiggs, are you sure you didn't live in a life before and come back? You have so many memories of our island. Margaret is agreeing with something you said earlier on. So people out there really do appreciate the stuff, and that's the direction we're trying to head. Yeah, Ray, I understand you're making an awful lot of sense. Now, I know we've gone way over time.
I realize that.
And way over time. And I know that both of you gentlemen are going to a funeral this morning?
No, this afternoon.
Well, this afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a little story on that. I know the time is short.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah. Mr. Lambert?
Lawrence, yeah?
Lawrence.
Sir Lawrence.
Sir Lawrence, right. He's one of those, we have established a friendship over the years on Facebook. And I plan to see him. One of the people I planned to meet when I came to Grenada. He's gone.
Yeah.
George, we do not know. I see people fighting over land and all kind of stuff. People in Bacchanal and getting on as if they're here forever. We do not know. He was a very good man, and we had conversations. When you meet a cherished friend, seize the time to smile. For in this life, we do not know. Like leaves that fall from autumn trees, the flowers that disappear, we do not know when we will part. We'll miss the good friends who warm our hearts.
Anthony, well said, well said. And Lawrence was a dear friend, and kind of hurt to see him go. But you and I have had pretty close calls ourselves, and we're still around. So let's be very thankful. For that. Margaret says, Ray, you're speaking about the oral tradition of telling stories and passing down history. A very African tradition. But with the advent of other types of distractions and entertainment, it died out.
Well, I would say there's still room. I mean, I know people who gather children together. I think what we perhaps have lost are competent people in the media who will certainly ensure that these things continue. I mean, let's take sports. There's no sports on the radio that makes sense anymore. Nobody gets the latest West Indies score. Nobody seems to bother with what, except maybe Bascom puts it up on his Facebook. You listen to the 15 media houses, you really don't get a sense that they're following anything except soca. So yes, there are new forms of communications. I agree with you, but the fact that there are no program directors who ensure that things that are useful to continued cultural growth in Grenada, I think that is one of the biggest blunders we have been affected by.
And while we're on this, just to say, and some people might want to take my head off for it, but I don't care. Too many of our songs is about drinking rum.
Yeah.
Too many.
And wine and jam.
Yeah.
Margaret says, who remembers Ship sail, sail fast.
How many men on deck?
Hold on. Can anyone finish it? And when was it played?
Well, I know about it in school.
Well, I know about the corn. The corn you
Yeah.
put in your hand, and you put, and whoever guess the right amount of corn will actually get it.
Yeah.
So ship sail fast. How many men on deck?
Yeah.
And if you say 5, and there are 5 here,
you get it.
You get it.
Roast corn was.
Okay.
Roast corn.
And finally, Margaret says, I remember on moonlight nights, we would gather in front of my aunt's house and tell stories and play games.
Yeah.
Now, as I read this, Margaret talks about moonlight. As I read this, let me tell you guys a quick story here. I used to be a rabid romanticist. Okay? I love things like sunsets and moonlights.
Right.
Okay? And when I came back to Grenada, I started dating a young lady here and trying to be as romantic as possible. You know, one day I said to her, look, let's go for a nice sunset walk, not sunset, a moonlight walk along Grenadians Beach. I mean, can you think of anything more romantic than, you know, walking the beach, big full moon up there, you know, holding hands and just... You know what her reaction was? No matter what. You want them kill us? She was afraid of about her security on the beach at night. But there you go.
Times have changed. Times have changed.
Margaret says, Wendell, exactly with corn. She's talking about that comment you just made. Murray Jew says, it was playing corn season.
That's true.
Yeah. John says, my stations are all playing most stations are playing the same stuff. Talking again about, you know, the lyrical content that we're hearing.
Look, Sparrow had a song one time. Children go to school and learn well. You know that song stayed with me?
They still play it.
There was a song, I don't know if you remember it, The Wayward Boy, about this boy who actually committed a crime. And on the day when they were supposed to kill him, take his life, when they're supposed to do that, he reflected and he was so sorry he was a wayward boy. That song has always been with me.
Yeah.
Now you tell me a song about drinking rum. Yeah?
Well, again, as I say to you, it's what we are feeding the emerging youngsters with.
I mean, a lot of people don't like to hear that. Promoters probably don't like to hear it. Other people don't like to hear it. You would never be popular if you talk the truth. Always remember that. Because there'll be people out there who wouldn't like what you're saying. But I come to Grenada and I see things. And I've made comments about bus drivers who just want to grab you and put you in a bus and the reckless driving and all that stuff. I see it.
Well,
I write good things about our country. Whenever I see something amiss, I'll mention it also.
But we, the elders, must take all the blame as far as I'm concerned, because how we allow some things to fester, I just don't understand. I mean, George, we worked on Scott Street, and
a long time ago.
Well, not that very long, in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
And, you know, there were some standards that you had to abide with.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you talk about fast driving, there are laws that prohibit speed limit. So what are we doing about it? Just talk. I used to admire Jerry Seals because I thought he had the right penalty for behaviors that are unbecoming.
Well, obviously people wouldn't like him for that, and he's not the only one.
Right.
Anyhow, gentlemen, listen. Some people have to go to work.
All right.
Yes.
So you guys hang tight. Thank you so much for spending your time here with us this morning. I can tell that the folks out there enjoyed having you in their company. And we're going to have to do this again sometime. Wendell, even when you're in New York, you know, you could join us on the program with your smartphone or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Folks, time to bail out of here. But before I go, one parting word from the Holy Scriptures. James chapter 1, 19 to 22. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. Therefore, get rid of all moral filth and the evil that is so prevalent, and humbly accept the word planted in you, which can save you. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. That reading from James chapter 1, 19 to 22. Now, on that note, Sharon, if you're listening, I'm hungry. At least the stomach was not growling this morning. But yeah, I could do with something to eat. Had a cup of cinnamon tea this morning. That's about it. No coffee. I'm staying off the coffee so far. Pinkies crossed. George, let's see here. T.F. Richards says, George, over the past couple of days, I found myself singing a song whilst in the bath with the words, quote, so when you see me in the cold mountain, what a plantin'. You made these guys here chuckle. I don't know why. He also says it's been a lovely forum. And John says, need to get these two back sometime. Yeah, we're going to do some hookup. Okay, now that we got the ball rolling, we'll do some hookups. Pilgrims, Georgie Porgy is going to send God's love and blessings your way. And by his grace, let's do it all over tomorrow. Tomorrow I expect to have Sharon around. And God bless you. Have a great day.